All right, round two of trying to film this video. Like I said, I don't like editing, so I'll just restart the video. My dog was barking, and then the mailman's there, and packages showing up. It's just weird. Anyway, all right, that's normal living. So let's talk about what I was gonna say in this video. So interesting is in this video is I'm focusing on the effects in Koala. You know, the effects. You have the typical 8 effects there, and then you have the F effects here for resampling that you can utilize. Some of the effects are very similar to me in the SP. Koala has less, what am I trying to say? Koala has less abilities to do the same, to adjust the effects. So in other words, what I mean by that is like the isolator in here, Koala doesn't really have this type of EQ where you have a low, mid, high, and it can adjust the sound. Although it would be nice if Koala did that, though, add a nice little, at least a 3-band EQ. I mean, obviously we want more, but what you do have with Koala is the ability to use a program like AUM or other stuff where you can add in effects and things of that nature, which helps it, right, a lot. And then you can do the same technically with SP. You can hook it to a computer and go in and add effects to a line. Excuse the chair again. I guess we're gonna have a squeaky chair for a while. So anyway, what's neat is that you can put the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can put your effects on it and use them for live performances. Now I don't perform live, but what I'm trying to do is find my use case. So my initial use case for those was like if I had a drum and I wanted to put, let's say, some type of lo-fi effect on it, which there's a lo-fi in there. So you just find that number, and then you can hit remain and this, and then adjust tone. Type. There's a pre-filter or pre-filter type. And then you can hit shift, or I mean this knob, and then you got a cut off, which that's completely gone. You have a balance of that, what you want to do with it. So obviously the more you go here, then it's not there. Why is the filter, the cutoff so gone? And then you have a level. All right, so I'm gonna go back out of there. Okay, so lo-fi. In other words, I'll use this sometimes, but I use this not on drums. I typically would use this on like the piano there or something like that. But anyway, you have more effects in the SP than Koala, but in Koala they're a lot easier to use. And I think what Koala does great is it gave us I don't even know what some of these are. I never even use them. Maybe I should get more into using these, because you can create some crazy sounds. I mean, you really can. Like, let's see. And there's different types. It's weird when I go to these types. It doesn't let me play it while I'm in there. I have to like turn the gain down. So I'm not exactly sure what this is even doing. I was gonna put the gain at 0. It remained in there. I don't know what the purpose of that is. There's videos out there that go through each one that talk about it. Be honest with you, some of these effects I'll never use them. But that doesn't mean they're not valuable. to some degree, right? It depends on the person's use case and what they use it for. But anywho, all right. So I'm trying to learn my value of some of these effects because I haven't found it in some of them. And I probably won't because I'm not a big effects person. When I use an effect, I typically use it to color or create the sound a little bit. But it's sprinkled in like what you would do with salt when you're cooking a meal. It's really just a taste, but it's not like overly done. Like you can really go too far with these effects and they start sounding kind of wonky for the song. It just depends on the type of music you're playing too. So this isn't for everybody, what I'm saying. It just depends on your style. But I know from my style, I tend to go less is best. When I use less of something, I find myself being more creative with it. When I do go out the roof and start doing other stuff, it's usually like the granular stuff I'll mess with. And I'm using it to kind of basically flip a sound and make it sound completely different. So anyway, that's my use case. I was saying that you can take the utility. Well, you can't be in pattern mode, unfortunately. But you shift and 16, which is the effects. And you can set by turn into direct. You can set these 5 here to be something different if you want something different. So like I typically like everything on there. The isolator, I don't use it and use it at the same time. Just depends. But one of the things if I was gonna change something on here, it'd probably be the isolator because it's probably the one I don't use the most. But I might be like prone to put like either the lo-fi on there because I do tend to gravitate toward that, or put the EQ on. That way you could just EQ a sound a lot quicker. I have used the reverb and the delay and they sound really good, but it depends on what you're doing. The backspin thing is like we're spinning a record backwards. That's not really something I do. I might use a sample that has it on there. So I might tend to grab, that wouldn't be something I would definitely not be doing that live. But, because it's just not who I am and what I do. But the equalizer is something I think you could use to shape your sound a lot quicker. So I might actually try that for a little bit. I'll be honest, I haven't touched these much since I got this thing. I think I changed the resonator to the sync delay. And I changed that one to the sync delay. Or no, I changed that one to the stopper, I'm sorry. And then my delay, I think, was always on sync delay. So I didn't change that one. I just learned how to use that one. But I'm going to start switching them up a little bit, see what I can come up with. Maybe it'll help me to explore a little bit more, which would be cool because I don't do that much. I tend to stick with the groove or whatever I'm going to do, and then I do everything else in the OP or from the computer into the SP. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Here's the equalizer, which I think would be more useful for me. With sound shaping, a snare or anything, or something that has too much bass in it, like let's say your piano's, or if they don't have any bass, you can put the gain up a little bit on the low gain. So I would always say start from 0 if you do it. Like if you need a little mids in there, this will be a great mixing tool. I actually like that. I think that is a great thing. I'm going to leave it as the isolator instead, which to me, the isolator, I don't really know what the isolator is. I understand what isolation is, to isolate a part. So you're isolating either the mids or more of this or more of that. But the EQ doesn't feel like it's changing the sound as far as the, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to word it the right way, but I'm not a good wordsmith with this. It doesn't feel like it's manipulating the sound other than just cutting something or raising something or lowering something, right? That's really all I hear. Versus like the isolator, I feel like it's a little, I don't know, it kind of adds something to the sound of what you're doing. And you know that sound like when you hear a radio station that's in a lower sample rate or something, and it's got some type of, that's kind of what I feel like it does to some degree. And I don't know if I use that enough. Maybe because the low pass, it reminds me of a low pass filter. So kind of like what the low pass filter does, I'd rather just use the super filter and do that versus using the isolator, and just leave the isolator as the EQ. But anyway, enough said. They're both kind of, they have some similarities to them, depending on what your workflow is. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do on this video. Probably spent way longer than what I need. Yep, over 10 minutes. I was trying to keep it under 10 minutes. So I'm going to end this video here. That was the purpose of this video. I might do another video tonight. You know, my videos come out literally right when I do them, so there's not like a lot of wait time. So this stuff is, it's almost like doing live. The only difference is I have better control when I send out something that's not live. When I'm live, I have to, like, the camera situation is always the issue for me because I don't have, but I'm using my cell phone. So anywho, till something better comes along, or yeah, and then I will put you up on that when that happens. But this is kind of my idea, is trying to explore these guys a little bit more and use them more in the workflow so I get the most out of this machine. Right now, I feel like I'm about 2/3 in on getting the most out of it. By using it as an interface and pretty much recording to it, that's 2/3 of the battle. And then the other is just the effects if I choose to use it. And hopefully Roland will give us some type of update soon, because I still want the ability to stem out parts. That's one leg up I'll give to Koala, is the ability to stem out your parts. When you can stem out parts, you could, I guess they kind of want you to finish it in the machine, but just the idea of being able to stem out a part, though, it just saves so much time. Being able to just send it to the SD card, slip your SD card in your computer, or if they could send it through the USB out, and we can stem out the parts that way, and it pulls a file up and you just drag them out and boom, bam, boom, done. So anyway, that's not what this video is about. 12 minutes and 30 something seconds. Let me get off this thing. Until the next one, I'm out.